Let me paint the scene for you. You're sitting on the edge of your bed. It's late. The room's quiet, but your mind is loud. You're replaying the last argument, or maybe it was the last silent treatment. And you're wondering, was it really that bad? Am I overreacting? Is it me? Maybe you've Googled terms like narcissist or toxic relationship at least a dozen times. You've taken screenshots of messages to show your friends, but then deleted before hitting send. You've second guessed your gut so many times that it's almost impossible to hear it anymore. But something in you knows. Even if it's quiet, even if it's scared, something in you is ready for different, for peace, for truth, for you. I remember being right there. I was in a relationship that slowly eroded me from the inside out. I had no idea how brainwashed I'd become until I started seeing the patterns. And what I'm about to walk you through today is exactly what I started doing, both before I left and again after I got out, to begin to reclaim myself and begin to rebuild my own life. If you're here, that means you're brave. So let's get into it. Step one. The very first thing I would do if I was just realizing I was in a narcissistic relationship is to take the free trauma bond quiz that's linked in the description at the top of my channel here. And here's why. When you're in a trauma bond, your sense of reality is so distorted. You may still think they love you. You may still be trying to fix it. You may even think that you're the problem. Answering direct, clear, and uncomfortable but necessary questions can kind of shake you awake. It maybe kind of gives you a mirror, and when you see the reflection clearly, it becomes much harder to go back to sleep. So this quiz helps you name what's been happening to you in black and white. And once you start to name it, you can begin to kind of untangle yourself from it. Once you've taken the quiz, I want you to come back here to this channel. And at the top, under my profile picture, I want you to click the search bar and I want you to type in absolute acceptance. This video is going to introduce you to the importance of being able to accept your own reality, which is no small feat, especially when you've been gaslit for, God knows how long. So in healing, the word acceptance doesn't mean approval, it means clarity. So radical or absolute acceptance is saying, this is who they are, this is what the relationship is, and this is what it will always be. You kind of stop bargaining. You stop hoping they'll magically become who you know they could be. You stop rewriting the same ending and expecting a different story. When I stopped fighting the truth, I finally made space for my own healing. And I'll be honest, it was devastating. I cried, I raged, I teeter-tottered back and forth. I was absolutely crushed on so many levels. The realization that it was all a lie, that I had been manipulated, lied to, cheated on from the very, very start, that everything I sacrificed was all for nothing. Yeah, that was a major blow. But that clarity, it gave me permission to stop trying to change what could never be changed. And that was everything. Okay, so now you've watched Absolute Acceptance. Next, I want you to go to the search bar again, and I want you to type in give up hope. This one hurts too, but it's also one of the most powerful shifts you'll ever make. We're taught that hope is a good thing, right? Not all hope is healthy though. So if you are holding on to hope that they will finally treat you right, that this time will be different, that if you just love them enough, they'll change, that kind of hope is keeping you in hell. The truth is, the longer you hope they will be different, the longer you delay becoming who you're meant to be. So giving up hope in them allows you to start building hope in yourself. not only in yourself, but in your future, in your ability to heal and rebuild and live a life free of the chains of manipulation. So that's the kind of hope I want to come alive inside of you, starting right now. Okay, from there, it's time to educate yourself. I want you to stay here on my YouTube channel, and I want you to start binge watching videos on the cycle of abuse, on narcissism, on trauma bonds, on gaslighting, on love bombing, everything that catches your eye. Anything that you think you've experienced, I want you to watch videos on, and you can wander away. You don't have to stay here on my channel. And here's why I want you to do that. When you understand the terms, the patterns, the psychology, you begin to take your power back. You stop blaming yourself, you stop spinning in confusion, and you stop feeling like you're crazy or you're too sensitive or you're not enough, and you start finding your voice and you start finding words to articulate what has happened to you. You start maybe kind of adjusting your own thoughts to align with who you truly are. And you start remembering who the fuck you are. Suddenly, you start seeing what you experienced wasn't just a bad relationship. It was the cycle of abuse, one that was designed to keep you hooked and silenced and blaming yourself. This helped validate my pain, and it became a foundation that I could stand on, even when the guilt and the doubt tried to pull me back in. So give yourself that gift. Knowledge is power, and you deserve every ounce of it. Okay, one more thing that I would do at this beginning stage of my healing. I begin to build a support system. This doesn't mean that you have to announce your story to the world right now. It doesn't mean that everyone's going to understand, but you need some safe people in your corner. Maybe it's a coach like me. Maybe it's a therapist who specializes in narcissistic abuse. Maybe it's an online community or a friend who's been through it, or even just subscribing to this channel so that you feel less alone. When I was trying to leave, I felt so isolated. I had pushed people away who cared about me. I was surrounded by those who wanted me to just stay small and quiet and confused. Creating support was slow, but it changed everything. You're not meant to do this alone, and quite honestly, you don't have to. So if you're ready, you can set up a call with me and we can talk about where you can go from there. Okay, if you're still here with me right now, I want you to know something. You're not broken, you're not lazy, you're not too late. You are just waking up, right? And that awakening, that's the beginning of your freedom. So here's what to do. I'm going to recap it for you. Take the trauma bond quiz. Link is in my bio. Watch Absolute Acceptance and Give Up Hope right here on this channel. I want you to binge every video that speaks to your soul. And then I want you to subscribe so that you don't miss any of the weekly tools that I share. And when you're ready, you can schedule a call with me and we can talk about what your next steps are. No pressure, just support. Your healing, it won't be linear and it won't be perfect, but it'll be yours. I'm rooting for you.